Hey, what's up, guys? Lou here, and so I normally don't do these kind of videos, but I figure with everything going on, there's a lot of political turmoil. Hopefully, it's dying down. The pandemic's still here, and all this could be very distracting to other events that's happening around the world. But always first and foremost, you worry about you, your family, and the city or country you live in. But if you could find the means to help, sometimes a stranger or a country miles away. It's almost like taking vitamins. Makes you feel good. You know what I mean? So basically, there's a conflict between two countries, and relatively, a lot of people are just kind of just finding it out right now. It's an ongoing conflict, and I'm bringing it attention because I believe one side is being treated very unfairly, and not because they're the losing end or I like them better or whatever. It's just basically bad politics and just a you know I'm gonna say a long line of defeats because that's wrong, but just tragedy and just trying to protect your heritage and culture. So there's two countries, right? Azerbaijan and Armenia, both side by side each other, and in between them is a smaller country, a border country, if you say, Nagorno-Karabakh. That's called. Sorry if I'm butchering the name. I'm not a native speaker, so doing my best here. Anyway, they've been relatively at peace and independent, that border country. But when you have, two bigger countries as neighbors, tends to be conflict. In fact, there's been conflict since I think like the early 90s, maybe even before that. Now, historically, the people that live in this border town, border, whatever, country, uh, are historically Armenian or of Armenian descent. It could be mixed. Like I said, it's, you know, being a smaller country, you get influenced by both sides. So, but I'm just going by what I've read, and it did belong to Armenia. The Russians kind of divided a little bit, said, okay, you guys could have it. Then one day, the other side could have it. And I'm going way back, and even in historic times, Armenia had this part of land. Now let's bring in another contender, Turkey, which has a long history with Armenia. Uh, like I was saying before, Armenians in general, a lot of tragedy happened. Genocide for one. Now, like I said, all this I'm saying is not going to affect you personally. You can do nothing, you just listen to me talk. But, like I said, there's a lot of people oppressed right now. A lot of cultures were oppressed, and what makes this any different, you're probably saying? Well, the fact that it's happening right now, continues to happen from the past, present, and probably the future, and it will relatively go unlooked. It probably won't get that much, media or press coverage unless you're from there, you know someone there, or you're just a history nerd. So, like I said, what better time than now than to talk about it? Maybe do something about it. You can't do nothing physically, but you could donate. For example, we made a big change. This, election here was monumental. No matter what side bat it for, I think the right side won, and it was for determination and just people wanting true change. I myself, I contributed. You know, that's my way of saying, hey, I care. I want to make a difference. And so there's a little charity going on with this conflict that's happening right now, which I believe actually ended for the so the Russians brokered like a peace deal right now between these two countries and kind of gave Azerbaijan the win. So it wasn't really too much a fair fight. I mean, they got a peace deal out of it, but still. Here's the reason why I have a problem. So another contender, big shot country, Turkey, was a long historic problem with Armenia, and that is genocide. So like imagine if like the Germans denied the Holocaust. I'm sure there's some do, but whatever. Most of them acknowledge it. The Turks, maybe the younger generation, read about it in history books, but for some reason the Ottomans and the Turks just have a straight up problem with the Armenians. I don't know what it is, you know, but yeah, I know a lot about the Armenians. Me being a fan of Rome, the Byzantine Empire. There's a lot of Armenians that filled the ranks, and even rose through the ranks, became emperors themselves in the Byzantine Empire. But it took them a long time to establish themselves as actually a country. Armenia has the biggest dispersed countrymen. There's more Armenians living in like all other places of the world aside from actually Armenia, which is pretty crazy. And that's because they were systematically hunted down and nearly exterminated. So they had to leave, and that's just kind of how it was for a long time. Very, very proud people. Um, so to see a conflict like this being a pretty much proxy war, which means a bigger country funds the little countries. This country in between, they were fine how things were. And as far as I know, zero conflict. They accepted, whoever had the best deals. They're pretty on friendly terms with both sides, both Armenia and Azerbaijan. But Azerbaijan, being, bolstered by Turkey, said, well, we want more. And the Turks pretty much supplied them with military advisors, firepower, and probably, foreign fighters filled the ranks of the military from Azerbaijan. So, the Armenians, pretty modern country, but by any standards, but still, having technology is one thing, but having like several backers, that's another. And I really wished the Russians would have got involved maybe just a little bit more instead of just signing papers that say peace. No, because what's after Armenia? The Caucasus, and then Russia. So just out of knowledge, Russia has a greater stake too in this, and it's one big political game. But my point is, I'm trying to get across here is, I think Armenia, deserves better. They're fighting to defend land that was theirs, and their heritage, and the people that predominantly make up the small border country are Armenians or of Armenian descent. So, like, I just don't understand why for Turkey this is such a problem. It kind of reminds me of what's going on in Cyprus. Cyprus is a country, Eastern Mediterranean, so think of like Lebanon, around there. It's out in the sea. It's literally split down the middle. One side you have Turks, other side you have Greeks. Greeks were there first. Well, a lot of people, a lot of ancient Phoenicians and so on and so forth. The Greeks though settled there, and they had it for a very long time. And then the Ottomans had a population there too. Ottomans became the Turks. So a lot of bickering back and forth, a lot of war. Of course, no one aided the Greeks. And the Turks just kind of pushed their way, through and took whatever land they could. To this day, I think the UN or the NATO had to get involved and pretty much like draw a line in the sand, say, okay, you have that side, you have that side. But if it was up to Turks, they would have all the sides. So definitely not a fair fight. Like I said, I don't like conflicts. as much as I study things about, battlefields and war, uh, real conflicts and, real life casualties of war is not fun on either side. But I know, you know, myself, I always kind of favor the underdog. And I know right now this wasn't a fair fight just from the get go. And like I said, I think Armenia needs a better shot and someone in their corner for a change. So what I'm going to leave in the link below is a little website that pretty much handles like fundraising and things you can like contribute, to this cause. That kind of just what it does. It pretty much kind of helps the Armenians out in this situation. Um, you know, and that's really all I got to say about it. Like I said, this is not going to affect you guys anyway, but if you're all about change and you want to make a difference and, not just help a person, but, potentially help a country, be strong and independent and keep it that way. Why not, Or if you can't afford it, you got a lot going on, talk about it. Do your own research. And I think you'll know too that this isn't a fair fight, and we definitely want to have balance in this region, and the Armenians definitely could use the help and definitely use the support. So in the end, I think you know you guys will do what's right, or spread the message, and yeah, maybe learn a thing or two. I don't know. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and as always, stay safe, and don't text and drive. All right, peace.